What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. This is not a good day for those of you who are tied up in the Marks Cards scandal or issue, I guess if you want to call it. As of yesterday, so today's the 14th. As of yesterday, the 13th, California Bankruptcy Court has denied PSA's appeal to take the cards that are currently at PSA that were given to them by Marks Cards out of the list of assets for Marks Cards. PSA, their stance is basically that, hey, these cards don't belong to Marks Cards, they belong to people, and we would like to give those cards back to the people. And so PSA filed a form that says, hey, that stuff that you got listed there does not belong to Marks Cards. It belongs to other people. We would like to give them back to the other people. And it seemed like a relatively simple concept to understand. That, hey, this doesn't belong to them. This belongs to these folks, and these folks want their cards back. However, California Bankruptcy Court didn't agree, and so they denied that motion that says that the cards do not belong to Marks Cards. And now PSA is tied up where they cannot give the cards back to the people. And so hopefully what ends up happening is, I think PSA is going to file once again, to try to, further explain to the court or the bankruptcy court that this should not be something that the creditors are fighting over. So it's a bad situation all around. I don't think anybody's going to be happy about that, because PSA essentially is stuck legally. They can't do anything, and really, you would imagine that it's a simple concept to understand, right? Hey, we do not have, the Marks Cards does not own this, these assets, these cards, right? That I gotta imagine I don't even want to know what the assumed market value of those cards are that are sitting over there, but I gotta imagine it's pretty substantial. But what's happening is that the creditors, those creditors that Marks Cards owes money to, is really looking at that and going, well, wait a second. Technically, they're yours. Technically, they're sitting in your possession. We just want to make absolutely sure that they're not yours before we let them go. And so I think that's kind of what the denial is all about. Hopefully PSA appeals. I really respect the fact that PSA is, really going to bat for the people whose cards they have sitting in their possession. It could have very easily, PSA could have very easily went like, I don't know, guys. It's, you made a deal with Marks Cards. Marks Cards hasn't paid. We need to get paid. But it seems like they're really kind of going above and beyond here to try to help them out. Did I just say something nice about PSA? I think I did. Anyway, so hopefully a lot of this stuff gets settled out. I mean, again, it's basically them trying to say, no, they don't belong to Marks Cards. Marks Cards, I don't even know what Marks Cards' stance is in all of this, because, I mean, they're the ones filing for bankruptcy. But, the courts are really just trying to make sure that it does not, in fact, belong to Marks Cards, because, in that case, I was watching, was it Sports Card Radio? And he had mentioned something that made a lot of sense to me, where he said, if you're filing in bankruptcy court, it's easy for you to go, oh, well, no, that Ferrari is not mine. That actually belongs to my grandmother. I think he said a Tesla or something. And so the creditors, hey, you can't go after that. That doesn't belong to me. It belongs to my grandmother. And so, the creditors are just trying to make sure that that's the case. So hopefully that makes some headway on that. I did not do a PSA update this week. I got several messages about that. The truth of the matter is that Sunday I did not pull the data. I didn't have a live on Sunday, which is usually when I pull the data. And I did not pull the data then. Usually what I'll do is I'll sometimes wake up early Monday morning and pull the data. My week has been ridiculously busy. So I don't actually have like the updated numbers. I did jump in there the other day and pull it, but I pulled it on the 13th, which is not Monday. It was, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday. Yesterday I pulled it. So I didn't really want to give that data set. So I just like, you know what? I think I kind of feel like I've beat that dead horse enough. And I really want to move away from that piece of content. So I think this is the end of the PSA update. I kind of want to just keep pulling the data for myself, but I'm so over giving PSA any more energy of mine, other than, news like this, obviously, that might affect most of you, or any of you that have cards with Mark's cards. This whole ruling is a pretty big deal. But I think this is the end of me doing the PSA updates. If you want to continue to get this information, you can follow Grunt Dad Sports. I'll put his right here. He does it for not only PSA, he does it for, I think, pulls BGS's number, HGA's number, SGC's number. A couple of other folks, he pulls their numbers as well. If you want to continue to kind of be updated on that. I'm really sort of at a crossroads here with the channel. It's been about 2 years. It's actually 2 years on April 5th. Marked the 2-year anniversary for this channel. And I really want to start going in a direction that was really inspired by the guys over at Bench Clear Media, Ty and Mike, in one of their, actually it was Mike, his interview with Peter from SGC, where he made a comment about how content creators really need to be able, or really should start giving more information about why it's cool to collect cards. And I really want to start focusing a lot of my content on that, on why it's cool to collect certain sets, certain players, certain cards. And so I want to kind of bring more of that kind of content centered around, educating and at least putting out information. I love 90s and early 2000s basketball era. That's one of my, I consider it kind of the golden era of basketball, if there is one. But I really want to put out more content based on that. So those of you who have been who have subscribed and been riding with me for a long time, obviously I appreciate all of that. Hopefully you guys will kind of roll with me on this new direction that I kind of want to take the channel. And if not, that's cool too, but I really want to start pushing that type of content, and hopefully you guys will roll with me on that. I want to tell you guys about some of my favorite players from the 90s. I want to tell you guys about some of my favorite sets from the 90s. I want to open more stuff from that era. I want to kind of engage more in that type of conversation. I want to talk a little bit more basketball. I want to put out more basketball related content because I watch a ton of basketball, like current basketball. So, and then I love to collect, not just cards, but everything. I have, figures. I collect so much stuff. It's not really card content related, but I love Star Wars, so I'd like to talk a little bit more about that. My brother loves Star Wars. Shout out to Collect 3D Prints. Yeah. So, and then also we have the partnership with Card Hedge, which will still kind of bring in some of that aspect of collecting and where you can keep your database of your collection and follow along with the value of your collection. So anyway, I say all of that to say that, the direction of the channel is probably going to go a little bit different. Hopefully you guys will vibe with it. And if not, hey man, it's cool too. I appreciate it anyway. I'm working on some merchandise, some hats, some shirts. I like I like things. So, you know, like box cutters. Somebody had told me it'd be cool if I did a box cutter. So little pins for your hats and stuff like that. I like little trinkets like that. So, you know, we'll put out some stuff like that too here pretty soon. But anyway, I'm kind of getting into baseball too. Picking up some baseball stuff with my man JD, who's been kind of helping me out. He's been my guru on that. My shaman, my baseball shaman. Shout out to my man JD. Anyway, again, just kind of want to give you guys a heads up. I know, this last week I hadn't really posted a whole lot. I did the Tyler video on Monday. That was a big thing. I'll still cover big stuff like that, but again, I really just want to talk to you guys about how cool 90s and early 2000s basketball really was. And again, hopefully y'all vibe with it. But that's it for today. Appreciate you guys watching as always. Hopefully this whole Marks card thing gets worked out favorably for the collectors. If you're tied up in this kind of stuff, have you gotten any type of... Oh, you know what? Also, shout out to my man... let's see, who was it that sent me? Samuel Stevenson. Shout out to my man Samuel Stevenson. I'll put his thing right there. He's caught up in this whole thing, so he's kind of been keeping me up to date on any communications that he's had with PSA. So appreciate you, Sam. Appreciate you guys watching as always. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Love y'all. Peace.